Well, good afternoon and welcome once again to Ed's Orchids. Now, nothing specific today, just a bit of repotting to do, and the repotting consists up to now of a couple of Mazdas and a Coelogyne. This Coelogyne needs repotting because it's got two growths and they're growing flat up against the side there, so they need to go in a little bigger pot and centralising, and this may even drop in two, this one, so we'll have a look at that. Then there's this Masdevallia that needs repotting into a larger pot, and one here that's not doing too well. It's got roots, but I think I can do better with the mixture it's in. And this is an Ignea. You see the old growths there, a bit brown underneath, but the new growths are doing okay. Some of them are a bit bigger than the last growths, but if I change the bark, that'll give it another spurt onwards. So what we'll do, we'll take them all out of the pots to begin with. Have a good look at the roots, trim them up, clean them up, and find different size pots for them. Well, the first one we'll take out is this Masdevallia. And this is an Urban Hero. Squeeze the pots and it should come out easily. Another reason why I'm repotting this, it had a lot of growths on it, and they've grown, but it's not producing any more growths, so I presume it needs repotting. Mine, it's been in here well over 12 months. There we are. Now I'll get the camera so you can see it. Well, that's a nice root system on it. So there's nothing right down the middle, so a bigger pot will do this fine. You know, when they're in the wild, everybody says they like being in tight pots, but they never get in tight pots in the wild, do they? So why do people like them in tight pots? I like to just give them enough room for another 12 months, that's all. And this looks like it's had its 12 months worth here. So we'll just clean it up and trim it up. One, two, three. So we'll get all this old stuff off. Try not to damage too much of the root system. I think if I roll it round like this, it'll all loosen, pressing as I'm going. The stuff, it seems very small. There's a bit of moss there, and I don't use moss much. But the root system looks very good. But a fresh repot with some new media will do it a power of good. Yeah, look at all this moss here, so you can tell how long it's been in there. Now normally I would leave the camera on until I finish this, but there are people amongst you who don't like waiting to see what it's like when it's all been done. I'm just removing it all, that's all, so I'll switch the camera off till I've finished it. Well, here we are now, and I've cleaned it all up. There's no dead roots on. I cut a lot off. And as usual, where the dead roots were, there was moss. So I've taken all that off, took all the dead roots off, I cleaned it up, and as I was cleaning up I found a new growth somewhere, if I can find it. Yep, that was underneath the media, covered up by moss. But in the middle, you can see where the moss was. very open and no new roots down there. So that was the right time to do that one. So we'll pot that up in a bit when we found a proper pot for it, and we'll unpot some more. And the next we'll unpot is this Ignea. It was bought April 2020, so it's 14 months old in this bark now, so it was time it was coming out. So I'll just take that out of its pot and we'll have a look at it. Give it a squeeze. And I don't think there's many roots on this one. Oh yeah, there is, there's plenty of roots on. But yeah, it needs a good clean up. It's getting all cramped together and everything. So once again we'll get the camera and have a look. Well, the roots on this one are very nice, I can't grumble about that, but it needs cleaning up somewhat, you know. Looks like it's all cramped together, it needs making room so it could grow properly. So I'll do the same again with this. Oh, that's better. I'll clean it all up, get rid of some of these dead sheaths on it, and it'll look a bit prim and proper then. Well, that's the Ignea all cleaned up and any dead roots taken off. No moss in there, but only 2 dead roots, that's why. And even it's got good roots coming right down the middle of that. That's why having no moss in. I always say where there's moss, there's dead roots. You know, moss is fine. I've nothing against it if you know when the plant's had enough of it. And I think 6 months, and then you should change it. But changing it, that's only my opinion. And I've cut all the dead leaves off this one. Well, they're not dead leaves, all the marked leaves. And where I've cut them off, I've put a drop of dragon's blood on. So that should be nice when it's repotted in a pot that's just slightly bigger. And that's the Ignea. 1, 2, 3. And then we have this Coelogyne granulosa that I was trying to bring back to life from a big plant that wasn't doing very well. And some of the leaves here are no good, but it's got 2 new growths on it, I'm pleased to say. So we'll take it out and see what the roots are like. Yeah, I think these are now in too small a bark. Very, very small bark. Not many roots on. Many dead roots. So let's get this cleaned up. I'll be able to clean this up in no time. 1 or 2 nice roots there, but all these I don't think are any good at all. So a bit of new medium should put these 2, unless we could split it there. I think it's just going to split itself. Oh, which way does that go? There's that one right in the middle and this big one at the back. Oh, my glasses keep falling off. Excuse me a minute. Right, I've taken my glasses off now so I can't see anything. So whatever I do, we'll have to make right. No, I think I'd better leave these all together. But I'll show you the roots. And after I've showed you these horrible roots on this one, I'll get it all cleaned up and repotted. Just 1 or 2 nice roots coming there. So that's a good sign. So I'm repotting this at the right time, I would think. I keep moving away from the camera, and I shouldn't do. I should look at the camera screen all the time while I'm working. But I keep moving my head away and moving the camera away. So I do apologise if it's spoiling your viewing. Right, I'll get this cleaned up. I'll cut all the dead roots off and repot it. Well, this is a very fine rooted plant. Nice and healthy now. It's got some nice root growth there coming, but it's so fine rooted, this plant, that the roots you cut off, you find, are throwing new root tips out. Look, most of these I would have cut off, but with them being fine rooted, you've got to be very, very careful. Very difficult to tell which ones to cut off and which ones to leave on. So it's better leaving the majority on, I think. So that's all three done. So I'll have to find the pots to get these, and this I might put in a 1 litre pot, this one. And yeah, we'll have a look what we've got. Well, I'm going to plant the Coelogyne up in this much bigger pot, and I'm going to use some new bark, some perlite, charcoal, and there's some tree fern as well. I thought I'd put some of that in. So we'll get this potted up, and at the bottom of the pot we'll put 2 or 3 pieces of lava rock. I will put the lava rock in, so there's plenty of drainage at the bottom. Got 4 quite large pieces. That's fine, because the roots aren't that deep yet. We'll put in some bark and some perlite, a little bit of tree fern, mix it all up. That's enough, and then we'll position this properly so the push them down a bit, those new root growths there, put that right up to the back, so we've got the 2 growths virtually in the middle. So that's what I was after. So I'll hold them together there like that while we pot it up. Where all the gaps are filled up practically. Make sure it's steady in the pot. And I think that will do for me, that one. Should I get some wire and just hold it up? No, I'll just leave it as it is and let these, I'll train these new growths when they come up to stand straight up. So that's the Coelogyne granulosa. Right, it's the same mixture for the Masdevallias. We'll just mix it up. Bit of tree fern and whatnot. There at the right depth. Yeah, on Masdevallias you don't completely bury the rootstock. Well, you shouldn't do, rather. I'm hoping these will come on in leaps and bounds now. That's nicely in the centre of the pot now, and if you look round, all the gaps are filled up. So that's a good one for that one. And that is a Auburn Hero. And we're using the same potting mix for the Ignea. Put a bit of tree fern in there. Just load that up to the right height. Give it a good tapping to put everything in its place. Just buried a little bit too deep at the moment. A bit more around here, and that's that one done. So the only thing I have to do now is give them a good watering. Well, I've got some RO water in this bucket, and there's a bit of rain mix in that's brought it up to about 180 parts per million, and that's what I'm going to use. I've watered most of my other plants with it today, so I'm going to use it again. So that's the Ignea. This is the Auburn Hero. I'm expecting these to do very well now because they've been a bit slow recently. And finally the Coelogyne. Because these do like water. I've just watered the last one, then my glasses fell off right into the tub of water here. So they're wet through at the moment. There we are, it shows the media's a nice light mix because all the water's running through. No wet pockets in it, just damp bark. There we are, and that's the Coelogyne granulosa. Well, thank you very much for watching, and before I go, I don't think I've shown you this for a bit, have I? This was a rescue plant, a Lycaste aromatica, and it's done absolutely lovely, and it's still growing, putting new growth up there. So very pleased, huh? I mean, they smell a bit lemony, these, but beautiful, nice and easy to grow as well. Lycaste aromatica. Well, that's about all, so thank you very much for watching, and I've got all these to water yet, so until next time, I'd like to thank you once again. I'd like to thank all my subscribers, and until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.